This is episode number 19, part number 3, for your week ending June 29th, 2014. Tonight is the big Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Who does JD think is going to walk out of Boston, Massachusetts as the new WWE champion? I got full preview and predictions for Money in the Bank. I got news on Wade Barrett. What's my opinion on Wade Barrett's shoulder injury? Will he be in the Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match? All that and more to close out your weekend of Off the Script, your number one source for all WWE, right here on YouTube.com. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is your final part this weekend for WWE Off the Script, episode number 19, part number 3 for your week ending June 29th, 2014. Tonight is the big pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, live from Boston, Massachusetts, the home of Superman himself, John Cena. And I know you guys don't want to hear that. I'm sure you guys aren't John Cena fans, neither am I. But you got to face reality, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But business as usual. If you guys missed parts 1 and part 2, links are down below in the description. Go and check that out. Off the Script this weekend, parts 1 and 2, links down below. I got stories covering this week's biggest news in WWE, so if you did miss that, go check it out. And of course, Chairshot Reality at WrestleZone.com. If you guys missed their show this weekend, go and check that out. Links are down below, covering Money in the Bank this weekend, previewing predictions from them. They talk about Wade Barrett. Social Media Saturday, taking place yesterday. Go and check that out. Great show. The number one talk show regarding professional wrestling on the internet. Go and check that out. Chairshot Reality at WrestleZone.com. Eisenberg, Ghoulish, and my man LeBar. You can't get any better than that. So go check those guys out. Now, since all that nonsense is out of the way, part 3. Bad news for Mr. Wade Barrett. Suffered, I should say, a shoulder injury. The official WWE website, and this happened on Tuesday, and I know Sean's View covered this immediately and this and that, but it is what it is. I do WWE Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not going to come on here and just break news to you guys because, obviously, I'm Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what they do. That's what he does. It is what it is, but I know I'm covering this a little bit too late. You guys probably know of this already, but the WWE official website has published a new article that confirms earlier reports regarding an injury to Bad News Barrett suffering during a WWE SmackDown television taping on Tuesday night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. WWE physician Dr. Chris Amon said Barrett sustained an injury to his right shoulder when he was thrown into the barricade by Jack Swagger. Sounds familiar, Mr. Swagger. He also injured Dolph Ziggler for the first concussion that he suffered. Amon continued, after Barrett felt an immediately pain and a pop, we brought him to the back to the training room, and the exam showed a separated shoulder. We're going to do some additional testing this week, Amon continued, and then he sat down with him to talk about options for treatment for this particular injury. The article then continues to go on to note that Barrett's status for Sunday's pay-per-view, where he is scheduled to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match, is in question. Now, my opinion on Wade Barrett, this is a damn shame, because Bad News Barrett has been actually riding that momentum train for the last couple of months. You know, Bad News Barrett was a highly touted project by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon loves this character. This is a Vince McMahon idea. Even when Wade Barrett wasn't ready to come back to television, he was always on TV, giving these short speeches with his whatever they call that judge's thing, a gavel, I think it's called, and him standing behind a podium, and then all of a sudden they had that rising podium. It was great because he's hilarious. He plays the character well. I love his accent. You know, I love anybody's accent from that part of the country. I think it's great. He's obviously great in the ring. He knows what he's doing. Great on the mic. He's got a great look. He's certainly a future WWE champion. I thought he was a WWE champion when he was feuding with John Cena back in the Nexus. I thought he was a WWE champion. I thought he was championship material then. I even think more so now. But Barrett suffering an injury right now, I'm not really going to place blame on either guy. I blame both of them. Okay, I'm not going to blame just Jack Swagger solely. I'm not going to just blame Wade Barrett. This is a mix of both. There had to be some type of communication problem here, okay? Obviously, if Wade Barrett is going to go into the barricade, now those barricades, they're not like the old school barricades that we grew up watching that, you know, the people get thrown into them and they move, those, you know, old school steel grates. These ones are constructed to sit stationary in the ground and they're like bolted into the fucking ground, okay? So obviously, Swagger throws Wade Barrett into the barricade, and he did not hit the barricade as he was supposed to, from what I see. Okay, he hit it with his shoulder, and he hit it with a force that was like he was shot out of a fucking cannon. Wade Barrett should have completely turned his back and had gone into the barricade back first instead of shoulder first. That's just my opinion on it. So Swagger, you know, really, you know, he shouldn't have, like, fucking ejected him the way he did. You know, you don't need to be that physical. I know you're trying to prove a point on WWE TV. These two guys are in the briefcase ladder match. There's a highly contested match here. There's a lot of blood boiling. Everyone wants the briefcase. They want to sell it on TV for the final go-home show on SmackDown for the pay-per-view on Sunday. I understand that. But if you're going to risk injury to one of your top guys, one of your top heels right now, why? To me, it looks foolish now. Obviously, yes, I know, like I said, you want to get the point across, but you got to take proper precaution. Maybe the spot shouldn't even been done. I'm sure they could have worked their way around it, you know, to drive home that point somewhere else or somehow, some other way. So, Barrett, from what I've seen, went in shoulder first and boom, he separated his shoulder. Now, I don't know how long he's going to be out. I don't know the time frame on a separated shoulder, but I place the blame on both men. They both were not prepared for this spot. Barrett didn't do what he was supposed to do. Swagger, again, is, you know, being named as a culprit here. He injured Ziggler, you know, with carelessness and selfishness back when Ziggler suffered his first concussion. You know, he did that. I don't know. You know, obviously, Swagger's known to be stiff in the ring, from what I hear, from what I read. But I'm going to place the blame on both guys. Irresponsibility and carelessness has caused now Wade Barrett, who's been on this wave of momentum. He's got the IC belt. And now he was my choice to win Money in the Bank briefcase in that ladder match, that second ladder match. Now I'm going with my pick. If Wade Barrett miraculously doesn't, you know, stay out of this match. I don't think he's going to be in this match at all. If by fucking some godsend he comes back into the match and actually competes, I'm still going to go with him. He's my choice. But if he does not compete and he comes out and says, I'm afraid I got some bad news, and he's going to proclaim that he's too injured, and he's going to come back healthy and then obviously, you know, fight his way back, I'm going with Seth Rollins. I'm going with Seth Rollins to win this. He's got the hot hand right now. He's Triple H's right-hand man. He's an advocate for evolution, and he's probably going to be the biggest heel in WWE this year after what he did to the Shield, the babyfaces Ambrose and Reigns. So right now, Rollins is my choice to win the briefcase and Money in the Bank. Wade Barrett out, suffers a shoulder injury, which is unfortunate because I'm enjoying the character. Now, how do you keep him relevant? Eisenberg, Gulish, and Labar, this is what they discussed on Friday. Chair Shot Reality, the links are down below. Go check that out. They talk about Wade Barrett. How do you keep him relevant now since he's not going to be on TV? Well, he was relevant before he even stepped foot in the ring. He was doing promos 2 months before he actually had his match. And then when he had his match, his first match, oh, shit, Wade Barrett's back. He's on TV. He's in the ring. He's in fucking wrestling gear. Great. How do you keep him relevant? You can always have Wade Barrett come out on TV and do something. And they were suggesting backstage interviews or have him come out and, you know, with the belt and in the arm sling and, you know, proclaim bad news. You know, have him pick a fight with whoever. wins the briefcase. Whatever, one of those guys, develop a new feud that way. But you can still keep him relevant because he's got that type of character and he's got that type of that just it factor to him that he can come out and people enjoy this character. This I didn't really think it was going to get over, but people enjoy the Bad News Barrett character. It's simple, it works. He seems to be enjoying it. I have no doubt in my mind that WWE can keep him relevant. I'm not too concerned about the IC title myself because nobody really gives a shit about it anyway. But Wade Barrett has been on that momentum. He's been booked as a strong champion. He's been beating guys left and right. He had some great matches with Sheamus. He was riding this momentum into Money in the Bank. And if it's that bad of an injury, I would keep him out because obviously the ladder match is going to take its toll on these guys. It's a physical match. You don't want to injure him anymore. You got to keep his health in mind now going into the future. You need him. You need Wade Barrett for SummerSlam. Okay? So they could keep him relevant if they do try. It's not that difficult. Just do what you did before he made his re-debut again as Bad News Barrett. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. I'm sure the WWE can't be that stupid to realize that what they have in Bad News Barrett is special. He's going to be a top guy. He's already the IC title holder. I do see WWE Championship Gold in his future eventually. That's how good he is. And it's a shame. I was looking forward to him to winning that briefcase, but right now, Seth Rollins is my choice to go into Money in the Bank and walk out of Boston with that briefcase. Former WWE superstar Brian Myers, a.k.a. Kurt Hawkins, who was released, was a guest on The Law, live audio wrestling this week. During that interview with host John Pollock, Myers explained how WWE's treatment of Zack Ryder broke the spirit of the WWE locker room. Now, the reason why I'm reporting this is because I want you guys to realize how fucked up big business is. This is fucking pathetic, okay? This is what Kurt Hawkins said on the radio interview. The worst part of that whole Zack Ryder thing is that it really kind of broke the spirit of the locker room. For years, we were told in all these pep talks that there's a brass ring. You've got to reach for it, and it's there for the taking if you work hard enough and get yourself over. And Zack Ryder did it. He defied the odds and actually does it, and all the boys in the locker room are rooting for him like, oh, wow, this is cool as shit. This has never been done before. He got over without the office, without TV time. It's pretty mind-blowing. And then they just crush it and take it all away from him. To me, I felt the example that was set for the rest of the boys was pretty brutal because then it was like it was almost hopeless for everyone in the locker room. It's like you're going to get pushed, or you're not going to get pushed in WWE unless they pick you to get pushed. And that's kind of it. I thought above all, that message they sent to the boys was the worst part. They crushed the spirits of a lot of people. Like, okay, so all my hard work here is not going to pay off in the end, is it? That's fucked up. And the reason why I'm reporting that is I want you guys to understand how big business operates. If you're not liked, you're not going nowhere. Plain and simple. Zack Ryder did a lot of work to get where he was a few years back when Daniel Bryan was the WWE World Heavyweight, not the SmackDown Champion, the World Heavyweight Champion. Punk at that time was WWE Champion. Zack Ryder was the United States Champion. You had 3 young studs as your title holders in WWE. That was a monumental moment. We never thought we'd see that. All guys, small in stature, they're not big superstars. They're not the model superstars that the WWE looks for. Punk, Bryan, and Zack Ryder. It was great. All standing in the same ring, giving speeches to the WWE Universe on Monday Night Raw. It was fucking fantastic. And all of a sudden, they crushed it. Why? He got himself over. He worked his fucking ass off to get where he wants to be. He wants to compete. But the WWE, for some reason, they find it a problem that with the Zack Ryder character, you know it, Long Island IZ, he got over behind their back. He got over on his own outlet, not on Monday Night Raw. He got over doing what he's doing, being himself. He's not getting over on Monday Night Raw because they're not using him. He wants the spotlight. He wants to work. He wants to wrestle. He wants to be in front of a live audience. That's what he wanted to do. He did it on his own. Long Island IZ, True Long Island Story was huge on YouTube. Huge. All of a sudden, got taken down. WWE got a hold of it. It was done. And that's what Kurt Hawkins is saying, is they crushed the spirit of not only Zack Ryder, but they crushed the spirit of a lot of guys. If you work your ass off and you do what you got to do to get known and get to that next level, if it's not under WWE's guidance, if it's not, guided or handpicked by WWE, they don't want it. Unless they pick you to be over, unless they pick you to be successful, that's the only way you're going to be successful. It's fucked up. And that's how big business operates, and I figured I'd share that with you guys. Finally, guys, Summer Rae versus Layla with Fandango as a special guest referee for Sunday's Money in the Bank has also just been announced at SmackDown, which you guys will probably be seeing on Friday. That was taped on Tuesday. So the storyline here will be, which woman does Fandango side with? Big E versus Rusev is also added to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view this Sunday. So you guys want my quick full card predictions? You got the main event, obviously, WWE Championship for the vacated title, which was stripped from Daniel Bryan. Alberto Del Rio versus Bray Wyatt versus Cesaro versus John Cena versus Kane versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. 8-man ladder match, WWE Championship, Money in the Bank. I'm going with John Cena. Why? Because it's the logical choice, and it's already been leaked. So if you guys don't want to see Cena as champion, get used to it. He'll be champion for 2 months. He'll have that, 14 or 15? I don't even know. I don't even know, man. I don't really care. All I know is Brock Lesnar is going to be your WWE champion. If you don't like Brock Lesnar as the champion, get it through your skulls. Get ready for it. It's happening. Why? Because you have no other place to go after beating The Undertaker. All you could do is go up. And the highest point on the mountain is the WWE Championship. And if Brock Lesnar doesn't capture the WWE Championship, everything that just happened with The Undertaker in April at WrestleMania is fucking wasted. Do you really want to disrespect The Undertaker like that? If you're going to beat The Undertaker, obviously you're going to be the WWE Champion. Logic. John Cena wins. Cena, Lesnar, SummerSlam, Lesnar's your new champion. What does that mean for Battleground? I don't know. Who does John Cena defend that Battleground? I don't know. Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, whoever you want. Whoever you want. Maybe Cesaro. Maybe Reigns. I don't know. I'm not even thinking that far ahead. WWE's got a few different ways that they could go. But right now, John Cena's going to walk out of Money in the Bank as the WWE Champion. Usos versus the Wyatts for the Tag Team Championship. Wyatt family has to win this. But I'm thinking the Wyatt family, if they win the WWE Tag Team Championship, they don't really have another face team to feud with. So, do I think the Wyatt family deserve the Tag Team Championship? Of course. I think they should have been Tag Team Champion way back when. Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber time. Usos are an entertaining team. They just don't have anyone else to feud with. This is WWE's problem. They fucked up the mid-card, and they fucked up the tag team division ever since they started de-pushing Rhodes and Goldust. Rhodes and Goldust carried that division on their back. It was great. It was flourishing. They had great matches with the Shield. It was great. Everything was flowing good in the tag team division. But obviously right now, there's only two teams. You got the Usos and the Wyatt family. Other than that, you got Ryback, which nobody cares about. You got fucking Dust to Dust, or whatever the fuck they're calling them now. Goldust and Stardust, which is not going to last. I see a heel turn coming there for Cody Rhodes. But the Ascension really needs to be brought up. They got another team brewing down there. I forgot what, Aiden English, I think they just paired him with somebody down in NXT. I forgot the other guy's name. But WWE really needs to work on their tag teams. Go out and bring in the Machine Guns, Motor City Machine Guns. Bring them in. Just do something. We want to see tag team wrestling on WWE. But the Wyatt family, I think, right now is going to walk out of Money in the Bank as the tag team champions. Maybe you get a rematch at SummerSlam down the line in some kind of gimmick match. I don't know. But I do think the Wyatt family is going to walk out the new tag team champs. Bad News Barrett is still being promoted, but he's not going to be in it. Ambrose, Ziggler, Swagger, Kingston, Van Dam, and Seth Rollins. Do they add another guy to this since Bad News Barrett is injured? I don't think so. If they do add another guy, I do think they add Bo Dallas to that. He's the only logical choice. It's either going to be Bo Dallas or Adam Rose. Of the two, I think it'll be Bo Dallas because he's been on fire, and I'm slowly starting to become a Bo-lever. So don't criticize me about that. I know I ragged on the gimmick when it first came out, calling this guy sucks and this guy's gay and this is never going to get over. But the guy can go in the ring. I'm starting to slowly, every week, just a little bit, starting to become a Bo-lever. So if they do add another guy, it'll be Bo Dallas. Being that he's undefeated, I don't think it's going to be any negativity towards his momentum right now because really nobody recognizes the loser in a ladder match. They just recognize the high spots and then the eventual winner. Dolph Ziggler obviously is going to be the fan favorite here. If I had a choice, I would unanimously give it to Ziggler, but I'm going with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is the hot hand right now. He's doing an incredible job with his heel turn and being a part of Triple H's clique. So Seth Rollins wins the briefcase. Him and Ambrose battle it out for the summer, leading into SummerSlam in that epic encounter, which I can't wait to actually have happen. Seth Rollins wins the briefcase at Money in the Bank. If not, I would love to see Ziggler win it. So one or the other. I'm not going to complain about either one. But Seth Rollins I do see walking out. Paige versus Naomi for the Divas Championship. With the rumors going around that Vince McMahon doesn't like Paige, I really don't know. But if you want that money match when AJ Lee does eventually come back, Paige versus AJ at SummerSlam will and should be the Divas Championship match. Naomi here is going to start feuding with Cameron. I don't know what's going on with Cameron. I don't really care. But I do see Cameron getting involved here. Paige retaining and walking out of Money in the Bank. Still your Divas Champion. Layla versus Summer Rae with Fandango as the referee. I don't care. Big E versus Rusev. Rusev will get the victory. Why? Because it makes sense. You're not going to have Big E ruin Rusev's undefeated streak because then his momentum will be gone. And most of the aura and that fucking, goodness and positivity surrounding Rusev will go right down the toilet. Can't have it happen. Again, Rusev prevails over Big E and remains undefeated after Money in the Bank. And that is your Off the Script this weekend, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Did you enjoy it? Let me know your top stories, your favorite top story this week. Let me know what you think of Money in the Bank. Remember, I will be covering the pay-per-view immediately following its conclusion right here on YouTube. I will have a video up, no question and answer this month. I will be doing a regular review like I'm doing now, full face cam, talking about what happened, talking about all the big news stories coming out of Money in the Bank. So make sure you tune in to this channel around 11:30, 11:45 after the pay-per-view is over tonight. And I'll be watching and tweeting along with you guys. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, links are down below. If you guys missed any of the videos from this week, WWE Off The Script Parts 1 and 2 down below. If you missed last week's, links are down below. I got you guys covered, so make sure you're up to date with JD. Thank you very much for watching this weekend. Like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe. Greatly helps out my WWE content and my channel. Thank you guys for all your support this weekend. I'll see you after Money in the Bank. And go John Cena. Just so I could stick it to you guys and say, I told you so. And if he doesn't win it, I come on here and gladly apologize to each and every one of you. But I just don't see anyone winning the WWE Championship besides John Cena. I'll see you guys after the pay-per-view. Take care. I'll talk to you then.